Budokan.
Yep, looks like
Playing
we're
the Budokan.
on. This is the live edition of the Jeep Life Podcast, episode 527, and we are really and truly in the studio. You can physically see us and stuff.
It's been a minute.
It's the live and sassy version.
Oh, we're sassy tonight.
Are we?
We're gonna be.
All right. Well, I think we're going to have to rev that up.
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not.
Look at all that. Look at all that beauty.
We have beauty.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, okay.
And nobody on.
Because nobody knows
Yeah,
the
I know
trouble
we've got
we're
our first. We got our
caused.
first one on.
Up. Who is it?
Let's see who pops up. There it is. Thank you, Mike. You've restored my faith in humanity.
Not that much. He's tried, true, proven though.
Yeah. So it was good to see Steve and Tyler out in the SEMAs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I'd seen them at SEMA before.
Not Steve and Tyler, but
Yeah.
Steve and
And
Tyler.
Yeah, if you say that quick enough, you could play that.
Yeah. But speaking of which, we have an exclusive power tank discount from them. Jeep Life Pod 15 for complete system at checkout at powertank.com. Those are some good people, so make sure go get your power tank stuffies.
There you go. I still need to get a full power tank system.
Yeah, you do. When
I kind of
discount
play.
code is right there.
I know. I play power tank. I don't.
I know. I didn't get a chance to go over to the pipes and cold case booth. I was invited to come out. I was supposed to sign a piece of artwork that they were giving away for charity. Since we have such a good relationship with them, but it was one of those things I wasn't able to sneak away and get over there.
You were just that busy.
It was that busy, but both of them are offering free shipping on systems for our listeners. Jeep Life, either at pipesexhaust.com or coldcaseradiators.com.
There you go.
Go check them out. Oracle. Got to spend some time in the Oracle booth and living the dream. 15% off if you use code Jeep and Terry.
Ooh.
Get you 15% off your new lights. How cool is that? I think that's all I have right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm going to wait for a couple more people to show on, then we'll hit the button. I still hear it. Do you hear anything?
It's probably my fan.
No, it's
Super distant and super way.
yeah, it's just
That's
some
like a
kind of
ground loop problem.
cell phone
Yeah, something like that.
interference or something. Oh, there it is.
Is it you?
No,
Ground loop.
is that your Bluetooth for
No.
your mouse?
No, it's his
No,
power
it's my
adapter.
power adapter.
Ground
Oh.
loop. It's a ground loop buzz.
Yep.
Yep. And I have really kind of like I've got shot hearing in my left ear. I can hear that. It's like it's like they could do the test and it's
No.
like nope. No, I hear that.
Right.
Oh, it's gone. We're good. I don't need it.
It's
I
all
have enough-
good. I was
I
going to
have
say,
enough.
do you have enough battery in this machine?
Yeah, I'm 95%.
There you go. We'll be good then.
We're good.
We are good. I think it's okay. Can I go ahead and
Hit the
kick
button.
us off?
The big button,
Yeah, the big button,
not the little button.
not the little one.
Hit the button.
Well, hey everyone, and welcome to the Jeep Life Podcast. We're that podcast where we celebrate the Jeep life and everything that goes along with it, and we are proudly sponsored by Armorlight, the toughest flooring on the trail, best flooring anywhere. So they have given our listeners a discount, Jeep Life Podcast 10, for a complete Armorlight system at goarmorlight.com. Our thanks to the wonderful guys at Armorlight for their continued support presenting our podcast. And I'm Jeep and Terry.
I'm Breaky Billy.
And I'm Jetty Jason.
And we are just hanging out in
And
the
we
studio.
are
Finally.
Voltron. No, wait.
We're Jeep Life
Form,
Podcast.
arms, and legs.
I don't know. Or something.
We are something.
Tonight we will be something.
I'm not sure what, but it's on the way, whatever
Yes.
it is.
Very much so.
You know what the sum of the parts is? Just a bunch of parts.
Bunch of parts.
Box of parts.
Box of parts.
And
Sounds like a Jeep podcast
Yep.
kind of thing.
And if you got some left over, it's a good day.
Yeah.
As long-
Maybe. As long as you have enough bolts back in it to hold it all together.
Why do I have 3 screws left?
'Cause
Oh,
they fell out
no.
of your head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
probably.
Well, there's been some Jeeping going on. There's been some non-Jeeping going on. Actually, mine was very much non-Jeeping.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about mine.
I walk into the garage tonight and
I'm elbow deep in a Jeep, like
Yeah.
always. What else is new?
That's Jeeping in all the wrong ways. Well, depending how you want to look at it.
The thing doesn't like to run right. Ever.
That seems, yeah.
Ever.
You get these glimmering moments where it does.
It ran well for like a year.
Yep.
But it's a year to the day.
It's like
The gremlins are
almost.
loose.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
gremlins are gone.
I mean, it
They're-
still looks brand new in there.
the side of the motor is still silver.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It's a piece of crap.
Hopefully, we'll figure it out.
Hopefully, it figures
I guess
itself out.
need a bigger
Yeah.
hammer.
Yeah, true.
I need to fix it with 2 extra cylinders.
Well, it's been a hot minute since we've been in the studio. We've all
Yes.
been kind of doing our own thing. getting
Another
work.
little rut of timing here.
We've had some personal stuff going on. We've
some
had
work stuff.
work stuff, traveling for work, and I just got back from SEMA. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't spend my normal week out in Vegas. It was kind of cut in half, which is fine with me. It is one of those things where it's so amazing to get to see people, and some of these people I don't get to see but once a year, and it's out at SEMA.
That's how I feel about my trade shows. Different industry, obviously, but it's the
Yeah.
same exact thing. It's like this is that one time a year where, I see all these people network, refresh relationships, and so on.
Yeah, and but it's good. I enjoy get to see all these crazy builds, and vehicles that are built for show too. I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
I'm just blown away every year by the amount of vehicles that are there and the care people put into them. 5 years ago, SEMA was there was so much Jeep stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it slowly became Jeep and Bronco, and now now it was the Cybertruck.
Oh,
It
Really?
was everywhere you
Oh,
turned.
come on.
You couldn't take a dump without putting
Well,
a
that's because
dump
they're all
on
the
top of the dump.
Cybertrucks that still run
That's
are.
kind of
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Yeah, I'm like, this is not an
I'm a
exciting
little sad
vehicle
about that,
right now,
but
but I
okay.
guess there's a niche for it.
Yeah, I guess. But there was one that I saw that was a Cyberlander,
Oh,
which was an
Okay.
Overlander
All right.
Cyber. But that one was actually okay.
Hmm.
But it wasn't the Cybertruck that made it okay. It was all the shit on top of it, right? The fact that the cool kids kind of put all this cool stuff into a Cybertruck, and I guess that's what SEMA's all about, is the attachment to the vehicle, right?
Mhm.
And adding to it, making it really cool. But yet it was still not a cool vehicle, even with all the stuff.
Yeah, I think
attached to
it's it's the eye of the beholder, right? I know people that aren't a whole heaping hot for Jeeps, but
Yeah.
at the same rate, hey, to each their own, and there's a niche there, and hey, God love them.
Yeah.
They're doing something with it beyond just, hey, look, it's shiny vehicle or something.
Customized is customized, and that's what SEMA is for. So
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's really everything out. All the Cybertrucks were wrapped and.
Which is kind of counterintuitive because it's like wrapping a DeLorean.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
right, exactly.
Well, hang on. The stainless steel is kind of part of the cachet. Well, let's wrap it. Wait a minute.
Yep.
Whoa. Back up. No.
Well, I mean, you have to take some attention away from the glass that you can break that says it's not going to be broken.
yeah,
right?
well.
The whole hammer on the.
Oh, yeah. Well,
God, what a
never say it can't be broken. I know a guy.
right.
I got a guy.
That's me.
right. Well, breakability will tear it to it. You don't see that many of them in your real life, but here in this small hamlet that we live in,
I drive
there's
past
ton.
one or four of them now at this point.
Yeah.
I see a wrapped one that makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
There's another just plain Jane one that makes me want to throw up. There's another one that I always see on Hamilton that I kind of curse at every time it goes past me.
It makes you want to throw up.
Yep. Although I do have to, I'm going to take a slight left turn into the EV world.
Yeah.
So my aunt bought a Rivian.
Oh, nice.
That's a crazy vehicle if you get all about it.
A 2023 Rivian quad motor super duper glooper whatever.
Does it have plaid mode?
Yes.
Yes.
So I got to drive it last night. Holy shit.
Dude, I'm telling you, electronic vehicles is
it's like a remote control car but human size.
In like comparison to a gas motor, it has 860 horsepower.
Because I need that all day long.
And it puts it to 4 wheels through 4 separate motors.
That are electronically attenuated to not lose traction at maximum torque.
Holy shit. When you put your foot to the floor,
it's instant go.
It doesn't stop pulling
Yeah.
until you hit 110 miles an hour.
Jeez. Yeah.
And then it stops on its nose and stays at 110.
Nice.
Oh, come on. I feel like that's just like giving up.
That's the program.
Yeah.
Oh, but I want to hack that.
It's governed at 110.
Actually, speaking of program, I did see an article about Rivian. I will give the company some credit, and I will give their engineers a little extra credit for nerding. They released a Halloween firmware update that throws it into kit mode.
Yes.
And it looks like a replica of Kit from Knight Rider.
In the inside, they have the DeLorean mode as well for Back to the Future.
But does it come with like a USB-powered flux capacitor for the back?
No, I don't think so. But it does. It makes the whole inside
I feel like it could work. Does it go back to November 5th, 1955?
No, October 21st, 2015.
It's all of the above. Which one are we watching? But that's pretty cool. That's fun.
It was wicked fast.
Yeah.
So I got to take it out for a little cruise, and Marie was in the back, and my aunt was in the passenger.
She had started in the front,
seat.
but she ended up in the back.
But I was like, all right, everybody. Like at first, I just kind of got into it, and like everyone just like hit the seat, and I was like, oh crap. But then I really got into it, and it like.
Everybody looked like the videos from the 60s where the astronauts are like,
I love the Rivian's look.
It's sweet.
From the beginning. I'm
trying to figure that one out.
It's the it's not the truck. It's the SUV.
Okay.
Okay.
But still,
they've got their own iconic
like
their
Rivian
thing.
It's very spacious.
Is it?
Like, oh my gosh, there's a frunk.
Yeah, right.
There is a frunk. There's a trunk. There is just a lot of ample space. I mean, it just has a battery and motors. Like, it's a glorified go-kart.
I think I built one out online one time when I first found out.
Yeah.
But I'm like a victim of check boxes.
Yes.
And I think I was into it for like $130,000 or something. And I'm like, of course I want that.
Yeah.
Who doesn't check that box?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's why you don't check that box.
Yeah,
Because
right.
as soon as you checked it, it was like, oh, and that's 23 grand. I'm like,
that adds.
because it was
There's
the
other
off-road.
groups.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
was our world of
Yes.
like off-road thing.
It's a
And-
Rubicon,
But I will
basically.
give them credit that they actually had that as a factory
Oh, yeah.
package.
Yeah.
Because other than like a Wrangler or Jeep in
Yeah.
general, and
Yeah.
now Bronco, of course, I
Yes.
mean,
Yeah.
but there's not many that would have a trim package
Yep.
akin to that. So I'll give them
So
credit
this
for that.
has everything. It has the off-road package, which includes a drift mode, an off-road mode,
Yeah.
a
You're so borrowing this vehicle
a
next time.
rally
Oh, man.
mode, and a rock crawl mode.
Really.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And then the on-road mode has sport,
Mm-hmm.
cruise, comfort, and like economy.
Yeah.
So economy mode, it actually turns off 2 of the motors, and it only runs the front 2 motors, so it turns it into a 2-wheel drive.
Right, and then those others become a generator, right? To probably.
Yup, in the
yep.
back. It has like high, medium, low regen braking. The
Mhm.
whole time, I didn't touch the brake.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't need to. You just
Whatsoever.
let
I
off.
just
let off
Yeah.
the gas.
modulated
If you
the
learn how to
gas.
drive an EV that has regen, what they all have
With
regen,
regen,
brake.
yeah.
But if you learn how to drive it, like that's kind of the adaptation to, I've heard, like that's really the thing that you've got to adapt to when you get an EV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get crazy mileage
Mhm.
because you never use the brake. It's always just maximizing, pumping all that kinetic energy back
Back
into
into the-
electrical
yep.
energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that's
No, it was
awesome.
sweet.
Yeah, I didn't see any Rivian, past him as I've seen a few Rivians out there. I didn't see any this time. Like I said, the Cybertruck or your Pinewood Derby car, as I like to
Yeah.
call it. you
No,
know.
definitely. They're Pinewood Derby. That's a good one.
But the hottest thing, I mean, Jeep was back in,
Yeah.
which was great to see Jeeps back in because they weren't in last year.
Okay.
They had pulled out for whatever reason, and but Jeep was out. Jeep
Yeah.
was in this year. They brought some concepts, nothing new or anything.
I still like that's the stubby one. I forget what they refer to that concept as.
Bob,
Sure.
the
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
the-
Yes, Bob.
the Gladiator that's chopped
Yes.
out. Yeah, Bob. But it was good to see them back, and they did have some cool stuff that I saw. But the coolest concept that I saw this year at SEMA
Mm-hmm.
was the Toyota 4Runner Surf. It is basically it's the new Jeep / Bronco with
Yeah.
removable top. And it's built on the TRD 4Runner.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a good chassis.
Yeah, it's a very, very cool vehicle. So it's sharp. I liked it. It is a 2-door 4Runner, as opposed to normal four. But yeah, Google search that Toyota 4Runner
I
Surf,
am investigating this right now.
and it's so killer.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I was drooling over
Okay.
that 6x6 that was in the Rockslide Engineering booth.
Oh.
Did you see that like work truck 6x6?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That
Walked
was-
by that.
yeah.
Yeah, that thing was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Warren
has-
had something bigger.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, that rock slide was
So it had 2.5 ton axles under the rear end,
what? That's huge.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
and it was on 46s.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Oh.
All right, 4Runner. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?
I'm down with that.
Yeah, it looks good.
I'd rock that thing out.
I even our friend Eric, I would tell him I would rock that blue, because that's a beautiful blue too.
I'm down with that too.
Yeah. Toyota always has at least one vehicle that they kind of bring to town. Sometimes it's an old rebuilt,
Right.
Land Rover or whatever, but this one, top of the line. It was really, really nice.
So they're gonna build it. That's the real question.
I think it is. Well, the 2025, we'll see what that does. I don't know.
It looks like a very polished.
Yeah, they could
It
they could bring
looks
that
a little
to
more
market.
polished than a average
Yeah.
prototype.
Yeah. What's that back window? look like.
I could envision that with a little bit of a little revision and polish, a little more market testing, and then bammo.
And bam. Awesome. Coming up in the episode, we are going to bust some myths, some Jeep myths. We're gonna bust them. And
try to bust something.
I'm not sure that this is going to be our most serious episode.
This is going to be really funny.
But stay tuned. Myths will be busted. Normally this will be where we put our events in.
I think all the events are kind of
over and done.
Well, the Virginia thing.
It was this past
right?
weekend.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying because I saw a few folks were posting.
Virginia Beach Jeep Jam.
Yeah, I saw a few folks were down there. Some of our peeps, some other peeps. Peeps with Jeeps.
We have peeps with Jeeps.
Nick, I agree completely.
Don't ever knock the Isuzu Amigo. I wanted one of those. I went to, what was it? The Philadelphia, was it? No. It was like the New York, something like a car show.
Yeah.
When that got introduced, and I so wanted that car.
That's awesome.
It was like, mid-90s or something.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
So instead of listing all the events and everything, I just kind of wanted to go around and say which event are you looking forward to attending in 2025? Anybody want to jump in?
I don't even know.
Well, we've got what's the return of the Ultra Force stuff coming, so that's kind of fun.
We
and
have
new.
Dude, I'm trying to just make it through this next week and a half, dude.
Oh, well, you're
I'm settling on a house.
Yeah, you've got
There's going to be a new garage
Yeah.
in my life.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, man.
That's going to be a whole different reboot right there.
Yeah.
I mean, me, it's just the usual stuff. Of course, the top of my list is always our two seasonal trail rides because it is such a friends. It's beyond just being on the trails. It's the quintessential all of our closest peeps together for 2 days typically. So that's always the top of my list.
Yeah, I like
How
that.
about you, Terry?
I guess Easter Jeep Safari is always something to look forward to. Great Smoky Mountain, we've been there together, and that's always a real good time.
See if I make it back down there this year.
Well, I hope they, I don't know what the final verdict after that, bad storm shenanigans going on down there, but hopefully they bounce back pretty good.
Hopefully,
come a year from now.
Yeah, I hope so. That's always a horrible time. I mean, where my mom lived in East Tennessee, it was 2 or 3 feet of water in certain places. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, an event like that helps kind of bring it back. Everyone comes in. That's what those towns thrive on is the injection of tourism.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm still toying with being able to get out to Johnson Valley maybe for
King
of Hammers. I think more exploratory this year than actual doing the event, but we'll see.
More kind of like show up and observe.
Yeah, and I want to get to Detroit 4 Fest. Get in that area.
That's cool.
Yeah, I remember you bringing that up, and I was like, I wonder if I could just drive to.
Because it's an attainable drive. I mean,
but I also, I can kind of justify that in more ways than one because my work is based out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. So, it kind of ooh, maybe I will just drive.
Yeah.
Spend the week
drive.
Any way we can justify somebody else helping pay for it, or
that's right. It's
or a reason.
Look
to
at
go.
how much I saved on this
Absolutely.
airline ticket. I've saved on this airline ticket by driving my Jeep.
It was only $900 in fuel instead of $1,000 for the plane ticket.
That's right. That's right.
Perhaps. I slept in the back of the Jeep. I made it worth it.
Absolutely. So yeah, I can't wait to get the show season started, but I'm going to enjoy the 6 weeks that I have of downtime. Of course, in that we have major holidays, so busy time with the families and
Mhm.
everything. Thanksgiving, Christmas.
We have
all that stuff.
Jeepsgiving,
New
we
Year's.
have Jeepsmas, we have
Yeah.
Right.
Jeep's New Year. I mean, like, there's a lot of the Jeep events coming up.
Happy new Jeeps. I'd love to get a new Jeep.
Maybe new Jeep.
You're well
Yeah, right.
Who knows?
Who knows? But hopefully, if we're out at an event and you are there, make sure to come by.
If anyone
and
wants
see
to
us.
donate a Jeep.
Billy's just needing a Jeep over here because he keeps breaking the same one over and over. It's his namesake. It is what it is. But make sure to stop by and see us. Get a selfie. Get a sticker. We'll have stickers wherever we are. Get those. Slap them on your car, on your friends. Whatever.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Everywhere.
Slap them on your friend.
Slap.
Don't slap your friend.
Don't slap your friend, but you can slap a sticker on your
I
friend.
remember when we first got stickers,
Oh,
we
God,
were
putting
slapping
them everywhere.
Corvettes.
No, I refrained from the Corvette.
Cybertrucks.
I would have slapped a Cybertruck.
Yeah, they were no.
Ah, come on.
Definitely would have slapped a Cybertruck.
All right, so we've got we have a listener in-show question from a couple weeks ago. But you can always either send it to us via chat while we're running the show, or hit any of our socials, or info@jeeplifepodcast.com, and we'll maybe we'll read it on the air. Maybe we'll do a I just blew it. So here's the question. How big of a deal is the unpainted hinges of the bottom side of hinges on JTs and JLs and corrosion? Should JT JL owners have the unpainted sides painted by a local paint shop to protect?
Literally, there is no rhyme, no reason. They haven't figured it out. Some of them do, some of them don't.
Yeah.
There's a class action lawsuit out there. If you're within 5 years of your purchase date,
Your in-service date.
in-service
It's very important. It's
Right.
in-service date.
purchase date.
From the minute you drive
From
it off
the
the
time
lot.
you
gotta
buy
just make
it.
sure. Yeah, you got to make sure you watch out what that date
Right.
is.
The time that you purchased it off the
Mhm.
lot. From that day, you have 5 years to make
Yep.
a claim with the dealer.
Yeah.
So check your date. If not,
So I don't think taking your door hinges off
No.
and painting
No.
them yourself, or having a paint
that
company,
ain't gonna.
it's not going to help you.
Better not to do that.
Yeah.
Better
Yeah.
to leave them. You don't want to break the paint.
Yeah.
I
And
mean-
it's not every it's not guaranteed that every Jeep is going to.
No.
No, my understanding is that a lot of the issue has to do with they changed the primer setup between priming the panels and the whole paint system. And I talked to a colleague that worked for 30 years in the automotive paint industry, because part of my business works in that. And he said, yeah, they must have changed. So he wasn't familiar with that situation, but he goes, the evolution of paint systems is such that it would be very rare to have that kind of a problem. Think about it. How many vehicles are out there that don't just suffer a wide scale problem? And so he said, whatever happened is very likely something to do with a combination of chemistry and whatever the panel prep was, because with that, it's all about, they'll spray it, they'll dip it, they'll maybe do everything to it to get the bond. But it'd be great if they can find a way to solve it easily, but I don't think they will, other than a lot of doors and a lot of hoods getting repainted.
Redone.
Yep.
My wife's, I think, 3 out of 4 doors, the hood. Yeah. I think that was it.
Well, my hinges need some love, but it's not from.
Yeah,
that's
a different.
That's a different reason of needing love.
That I think we know the root cause.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a
That
chemistry
is
problem
contact with the earth,
Yes.
Roots
or
and
organic
rocks and,
material.
Yeah, my bad.
It's a grounding problem, as in like you've run it in the ground.
Yes, it is a grounding problem.
It truly is. All right. Well, send your questions in. But we also would love for you to give us a rating or something with, wherever you get your podcast, because that helps us get found by more and more people. So go right now, go to Apple Podcasts, give us a rating, make sure it's a 5-star rating.
Slap like now.
Yeah, and then
Slap, subscribe,
give a review.
like,
Yeah.
review, comment,
all those things.
all the above.
All right, Jeep myths busted.
Well, I beg
Billy,
to differ.
we should have prepped
All
and
right.
put some stuff on the buttons on the soundboard.
So
we
all
were
these-
primed for
I
this.
beg to differ.
All of these myths may or may not be accurate, but we need to bust them and
So, all right, from an engineering perspective or an engineering standpoint,
From
we
an
have
engineering
this
standpoint.
we have this table. It's called a Pew matrix.
yeah.
And if anybody out there know what this is you set a datum point in the world of what you're trying to compare. So you have a good, better, best, worse, this, that, and the other thing, and you compare them to a datum. However, the Pew matrix is very dependent on where you set the datum. And if
Datum, hell, nearly killed him.
yeah, so if you use me as a datum, everything's better, obviously, than how I drive or whatever the sort. And vice versa. If you use Terry as a datum, it's going to be different from me or Jason or Don or anybody else.
All right, so let's get into busting one.
I beg to differ on the first one.
Jeeps are gas guzzlers.
Depends if you drive like a granny.
Do you drive like Billy or not?
Yeah.
You have a pretty good, strong foot, too, mister.
That's because I need a re-gear, so I'm compensating.
Yeah, okay.
That's not what you're compensating for, but so gas guzzler. We need to define that because I know SUVs and big trucks out there that get 5 to 6 miles to the gallon.
I also know diesel trucks to get like 26.
Yes. Yeah.
But see, I think that, I would consider gas guzzling by, sort of mere mortal definition would be, if you're getting sort of, I'll just put a number out there, like sub 18 miles to the gallon, feels like that's on the lean side given modern efficiency.
Sure.
You
sure.
know,
Well, and also it depends on where your datum point is. Are you comparing it to a Honda Civic that weighs 3,200 pounds and has a four-cylinder?
Is it a fair fight? Is it a fair
like,
fight?
yeah, there
Well,
you
I
go.
get in a 6-cylinder, the illustrious minivan,
Yeah.
my awesome 2012 Honda Odyssey.
It's the family pickup truck.
It's a 6-cylinder, but if I leave and just get on the highway and go drive 2.5 miles to the shore, I'll get 26 miles to the gallon without even trying, and that's with the same
Yeah.
Johnny Leadfoot, but it's 26 miles to the gallon.
That's also like a missile going down the road. It's aerodynamic.
Correct.
We're driving a glorified brick.
That is
Yeah.
right. That is
Yeah.
right. You know,
know?
that
We have flat surfaces.
the rake on the windshield is
We're like a pancake,
is like, I don't know what, 60 degrees.
Yeah.
You know, it's
awful.
something crazy, but yeah, and the Jeep is, 15 degrees. It's rather upright.
But I think we can all agree if I had a Ford Focus back in the day that was 45, 50 miles to the gallon.
Oh, I had one of
Absolutely.
those when they first
But-
came out. I had one of those, and
But
it was
the
crazy.
cool factor, there was no miles per gallon. with
No,
that.
no.
It was purely if you're going uphill.
Econo box
yeah.
is what I used to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it got much better gas mileage than my Jeep does.
It says something when you go, I have 17-inch wheels, and when you're talking to a Jeep owner, that means, oh, my rims are 17-inch, and then, okay, how big are your tires?
Yeah.
When you have a
37s.
Ford Focus, they're 17-inch wheels.
That's
Yeah.
total.
Yeah, that's the
On a
outside
thimble. On a
outside
thimble.
diameter.
That's
17-inch.
That's rubber
I,
included.
I didn't know that you shop for tires at the bike store.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
Wait, my bike has bigger tires than
probably.
I
We got a fat
29er.
bike.
I
I've
got
seen fat bikes
29ers.
with bigger tires, right?
Yeah.
So by our definition, is Jeep a gas guzzler?
I mean,
not.
they consume fuel in a reasonable amount for the size
For what
of
they
the
are.
compensation you need to drive it.
I would honestly say
Yeah.
though, I was thinking about this the other day. Is like even if you're driving modestly and you're not, doing anything crazy, and of course, once
when
you
I was
start-
going back and forth to work down to Westchester and back, cruising 55, 60 miles an hour, I can get it up. I was getting it up to like 17, 18 miles of the gallon.
Yeah.
right, but comparatively, some
Yeah.
other vehicles would be, north of that by a margin.
Mm-hmm.
But daily driving and just bopping around town where you don't have the extended just
Yeah.
run that puts
They
you
are
in.
not good in city.
No, like I'll usually hit 13.5, 14, 15 in
Yeah.
that like range.
10.
But I'm bopping around town, start, stop, start, stop.
Yeah. That's what
And
kills
that's just
it.
it's unfortunate because it just is not a vehicle that likes to do that, especially when you're whipping around large chunks of rubber.
Yeah. But I would much rather do that in a
Mhm.
Jeep than I would in
Yep.
Sure,
a Honda Civic.
sure.
Absolutely.
It's a they always called it the luxury tax. It's like, well, your gas bill is your luxury tax for having a vehicle that
Yeah.
I'm going to label that one as busted.
you think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's miles per gallon, baby.
Okay.
Let's
Miles
have
per mile.
Miles per mile.
but I will say, just based on definition though, just to keep it relevant,
I would
because
say
I was
they are gas drinkers, not guzzlers.
I was traveling and I had a rental vehicle this past weekend
Mhm.
in the Chicagoland area,
Yeah.
and as luck would have it, it was a Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Jeep Compass,
Okay.
and after a whole lot of driving all weekend long, I think I put 4.5 gallons in the thing.
Yeah.
And that was not even a half a tank of
Mhm.
gas, and I drove all over God's creation. And that was probably, it had said about 23 or 24 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
It's 2/3 the weight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Letter B. Jeeps before the JK are the only real Jeeps.
Yeah. I think JK is one of the best platforms they ever built.
Yeah. I actually want to go on a search now on cars.com and go tell me about every 2017 and 2018 JK that pops up.
Yeah.
Because it's like now we're 5 years out,
Uh-huh.
and it's like
They're falling off the shelf.
you can get all the parts, you can get all the stuff, you can
Mhm.
get donor vehicles, you can get it's
Yeah.
in its prime.
Yep.
Readily available.
Right. It's what the TJ was maybe 10 years ago.
Yep.
Yep.
No, I think the JK is that's busted. Done. Sorry. No. Go pound sand.
Although I will
Oh, my Jeep had square headlights. It was much better.
well,
no, that's cool. Your Jeep absolutely is a Jeep.
it's an OG Jeep.
It's an OG Jeep. The TJ's an OG Jeep. The CJ's the OG Jeep.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
absolutely, the Willis and the DJ and the T and the 2As and the 3Bs and all the different cool shit.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's awesome. We're all Jeeps.
All perfectly cool.
JL, when you start crawling to the malls and this, that, and the other thing, I don't know. It gets.
I would
when
say
you-
the inflect.
There's some.
There's an
some weird
inflection
shit
point.
that's going on with the JLs.
No,
and
hang
I don't
on.
know.
There's an inflection point. There's an inflection point between the TJ and the JK, because you go from, if you look at a picture of all
if
the
you
lineage.
have eyelashes on your Jeep, you're
Okay,
not
that's
a real
separate
Jeep.
thing.
Okay, we're going there.
That's a separate
Eyelashes.
thing.
That's where we draw the line.
How about this? How
You
about
have
like
a Volkswagen
You got a VW bug and
that's
take it
square.
back. Yeah.
that's square, not rounded?
oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, all right. The line there is Jeeps before eyelashes were the real Jeeps.
Oh my god.
Done.
Done.
Busted.
All right. On to letter C. You must have a lift kit for the serious off-roading.
Define the word serious.
I have seen a POS stock Jeep go up some of the best stuff, and if not, just hit it harder.
I have done that with stock
I have watched
Jeeps.
Terry do it.
with street tires.
Yep.
Climb everything in
Before
front of me.
and after.
Yeah. So I can say that one is truly busted. You don't need a lift kit. What do you need
I
a lift
watched,
kit for?
Hold on. I have watched stock TJs
Yeah.
make it up some of the most gnarly stuff.
Yeah.
Point one, the person that was driving just didn't care. But point two,
I almost spit all over my my computer, but yes.
they are capable. You just have to back up and kind of go. Use momentum.
Certainly. Well, it's momentum, where to put the tire and everything. The reason to have a lift kit is to get bigger tires.
Yeah.
The reason to get bigger tires is to have a little more clearance.
Yep.
So, do you need it? No. Does it make your life a lot easier and you
Yes.
damage your Jeep a lot less?
Yes.
So you do not need a lift kit for serious off-roading. And just do it. Just beat them. Just send it.
Yeah.
Do all those things.
But I think there's an important asterisk to throw in there where there is a legitimate physical limitation. Like, there are trails that,
Oh, absolutely.
okay, I do not have a 6-inch
no
lift
matter
and
how you
42-inch
approach
tires.
that giant ass rock, you're
It's
not
bigger
getting
than,
Yes.
so it's just worth noting that
yeah,
we
but
mean
you
this
don't-
within a reason.
You don't have to climb, stair steps that are 4 feet tall
No.
in
Also
order
don't-
for it
yeah,
to
right.
be
You
serious
don't gotta go
off-roading.
on Mount Everest.
No.
Nope, not at all.
All right, so
No.
just get out there and spend the time with your Jeep.
Seat time.
Seat time. All right, on to letter D. Jeeps rust easily.
No, I work very hard at it.
In the Northeast, Jeeps rust easily.
Hold on. Can we back up this
Yeah.
a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah.
In the Northeast, everything
Rusts
rusts
easy.
easy.
Right, I don't think it's limited. It's not limited
I do.
to Jeep.
Humans
Yeah,
just
right.
like if you get up into Northeast PA, it's like we developed this like rusty exterior, and we're like, "Arr."
Yeah.
No, but yeah, no. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Number one, but number two, you just got to take care of it.
I would be very curious. The fact that you made that comment, if the trend of weather continues the way that it's been, I wonder if there will be a window that becomes obvious that winters aren't what they used to be, where it was, every other day it was salt and brine and salt and brine. And I'm like, I haven't seen a salted road maybe once last season.
Oh,
So
no, there
how
was.
much-
There was plenty.
but I'm just saying it's not the same as I remember it was everywhere.
Hate to break it to you, PennDOT gets paid to put that shit down, whether
Right.
it's gonna happen or not. They have to
that's-
put it down every
That's
year.
the worst. Oh.
Unfortunately, in the eyes of the government, you have to spend it to keep it.
That's right. That's right.
So you got to put it down to keep it.
But we have talked about this before. There are things to do. You see the brine on the road.
Wash
The
your
next
vehicle,
opportunity you get,
take care of it.
clean the bottom of the
Yeah.
vehicle. Just
Treat-
wash it down.
Treat your vehicle with the proper products, and it will last you longer.
Yep. And Jeeps in the South don't necessarily have the same
Yeah.
issue. I mean, coastal Jeeps or Jeeps, along the ocean or whatever that's exposed to that salt air.
Oh yeah,
Same.
not that I would
Same
worry
thing.
about that.
right. But
My-
but clean it.
My
Yes.
Jeep is 9 years old.
Yeah.
And my frame is pristine.
Yeah.
Like, no rust patches, no anything major.
Yep.
Like,
I'm starting to get I've noticed being under it a little. Usually, wherever I've had like a little bit of rock rubbing,
rock
Yeah.
rash. yeah.
but I think also the quality of what they do to treat frames and do things has modernized over the years.
Yes.
Whereas back in the day, it was like, is metal,
Yeah.
like deal with it if you
So-
want, but it's not as protected over the
Yeah.
compared to modern technology of, again, priming and paint and treatment.
One thing that I did kind of about 2 years ago was I lined the
Yeah, yeah.
entire bottom of my Jeep with aluminum.
Right.
Full skid plates, aluminum skid
Yep.
plates all the way throughout.
Mhm.
And I think that's really helped with the corrosion
Yes.
as well,
Yes.
because that takes the abuse off
Mhm.
the actual steel and this and that. So I don't know. I think that helps too.
So it doesn't necessarily rust
Right.
easily if
No.
you take care of it.
Yeah.
I think that's the caveat. Is a
Yes.
comma if you take care.
Yeah,
If you
whenever I
take
come
care of
back
it.
from the shore, it's an immediate top and bottom
Mhm.
wash. It's a full wash out.
Yeah.
If we hit mud, even if it's incidental mud, or sometimes you just make certain turns on trails that we know and you end up in a few little like pits here and there,
Yeah.
wash it out, clean it out, get the
Mhm.
dirt and the mud out of there because that holds moisture. As long
Yeah.
as you're taking care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. E. Jeeps are for only hardcore off-roaders.
I don't know.
There's
I see a soccer mom driving it
lot
to
of
the
pavement princesses that deny that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I see mom driving a Jeep to go pick up her kids every day.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
I see a
think
lot of
that's just
ducks.
fine.
No.
I see a lot of ducks. I see a lot of people enjoying different aspects of Jeep life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not all of them put rubber on rocks.
Yeah, whether it's a commercial or I'm busting my balls like Peter Griffin.
Ow, yeah. But they are capable of
Mhm.
doing the hardcore
They
stuff.
are a 4-wheel drive off-road capable vehicle
Yeah.
that you have air conditioning in.
That's
And
exactly
occasionally
right.
heated
And
seats
now
and
they
power
have power
windows.
seats.
Yeah.
Power seats, heated,
Heated.
cooled.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean by that inflection point on the earlier
Yeah.
point of real Jeeps.
Yeah.
Like when I drive my daughter's T97 TJ,
It's
Yeah.
a different
that is a blast to the past,
Yeah.
man. That's
Yeah.
like
roll-up
locks-
windows.
I came home and I'm like, oh, she's sitting in the car. I'm like, oh, she forgot her turn off her headlights. And I'm like, sis, it was going ding, 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 ding. She's like, oh, I just got out and I
Yeah.
wasn't even paying attention.
It's like,
I'm like,
well,
there's
next
no
time-
auto off. There's no auto
You
on.
gotta pay attention.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it's not just for the
Yeah.
hardcore off-roaders.
They
we-
have, but you know what? They can be off-roaders at heart, even if they never do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they believe in it and they enjoy the vehicle. So that's
you
what
know,
matters.
and like you said, 1,000 ducks across the dash. Who am I to say that that's not for them? That's
And
their,
they're gonna go flying at some point, whether you take off too fast or stop too quick. They're
No.
going somewhere.
Whether you
they're
help it with-
attached now.
That's
They attach. Them
Oh,
to
that's
some-
right.
Yeah.
The
The
sun.
Velcro.
Yeah. The sun
Oh,
melts
well,
them
the
to
sun,
the
yeah, there's that
dash.
too, right?
I got hot glue.
Hey guys, help me out. My squeaker's stuck.
Oh wait, I got a good one about this. So my wife, there's like 2 or 3 times she goes, something's wrong with my radio. The screen's like really dark, and I'm driving, and this, that, and the other, and blah blah blah.
Oh.
And and I'm like, and I'm driving it, and I go, whatever. And the one day I'm like driving it, and she's in there. She goes, look, it just did it. And I look over, and I go realize it, and I look up. I'm like, did you put that back? And she's like, yeah, it was in the back seat. She has like a couple little ducks, but she has this one big duck, and she sticks it in the middle. And I go,
my God.
and I moved it, and about
The
2
screen
seconds
came
later, the
right
screen came back up. She goes, what the hell? I go, the sensor for the
The screen. I
for
knew
the auto light.
exactly where you were
And
going.
she's
with
like,
this.
oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Yep.
Yep.
And then she was just like, oh, I didn't even think of that. I was like, damn it,
She
you
was
know.
putting the sensor up the duck.
That's awesome.
Duck
Yep.
sensor activated.
That's awesome. All right, so
No,
they're
that's
not for
busted.
hardcorders. Yeah, busted. F. Manual transmission is a must.
That's like religion and politics right
well,
there.
I mean, I prove me wrong. I think that every person in the United States should learn to drive stick at some point in
And
their
they
life.
did in 1986.
However,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it makes a Jeep or anything of the sort. I think a manual Jeep is cool. It's a different experience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It sucks to wheel.
100%.
I give
100%.
everybody
It's
that
awful.
So our good friend of the show, Mike, has his stick, and he's out there working his ass
You're
off.
thunderfoot fucking that clutch pedal so
Dude,
much.
It smells all damn day.
It's awful.
It's when I first got my JK, because I'd had Jeeps before, and they were sticks, they weren't manuals. it was like I need to get a manual, and it gives me back that feeling.
No.
And no. I took it back to the dealership straight away and said,
Guess
no,
what?
I want an automatic.
The guys that I wheel with that have buggies and that are manuals, guess what? They take their foot off the clutch, and the thing just walks.
Right.
Because they're 4-to-1, or
they're
even worse.
So
they're like
low.
They're so creepy
It doesn't
crawly.
like you. They can jam it from gear to gear and go.
Yeah.
It's not like
It's not the same.
No.
But I always give credit to. I usually have between Mike and one or two of our other colleagues typically in my group.
Yeah.
Ride and stick. I've had other folks join the group that have been manual transmission, and I never let that session go by without going, man, I give you so much credit, because I would not. I just personally don't want to deal with that, but capably moving it, through the same rocks with that extra level of something that cope with and deal with.
Yeah, it's something more to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I wheeled a clutch. I
Yeah.
did.
Yep.
The Puddles was a clutch
Okay.
Cherokee 5-speed, and
I hated being behind you.
oh my god! I mean, I had fun with it, but at
Yeah.
the same time,
Yeah.
like, there's so much just feathering, and
No, I'm with you. I'm currently driving a manual Jeep.
yeah.
And I've driven Don's Jeep.
Traffic sucks.
So, your left foot's just working. It's dumb. The transmissions are so good these days
Yeah.
that you don't.
They don't make a 10-speed manual car transmission.
No.
It would be a mile long.
Yeah. You'd be shifting gears in the back seat.
Yeah. No,
you're gonna
seriously,
have to get
though.
the splitter button. You're gonna be driving like a semi.
You're going to be driving in an H pattern
I'm
with
gonna
a
split
Yeah.
gears, man. That's I think the big thing, because if you go back, keeping all these things tied together, it's like talking about the JK. Once you got to the JK, you at least finally jumped to a competent 5-speed transmission, automatic. From the TJ, again, my daughter's TJ, 3-speed automatic.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that thing, you can tell it struggles. So if I was back in that era, I could understand why
also the
nobody bought
speed-
that.
The speed limit on the highway was 65 miles an hour. Most normal roads was like 35 miles an hour.
Yep.
And it was you didn't travel as fast.
Yep. Yeah, it's so true, because the way we drive as Americans, just on the highways, changed, and then
The average speed on the turnpike's 80 miles an hour now.
Yep, and that 3-speed automatic was fine on the trails, right?
And it's fine around, and this is why it's
Fine around
not a
town.
problem for
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
She's not logging commuter run.
Yeah.
She's going to high school and back.
She's not
Yeah.
driving
to a
up
job
a mountain.
and back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, so that's all fine and good. And then even when you look beyond, we had 8 speeds that we've got, and then you got some trucks out there with 10 speeds, and you go,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's like modern technology too, caught up.
All right, manual transmission busted.
Busted.
Done.
All Jeeps are trail rated.
Yeah, if you want to push them hard enough.
Well, the badge is on there for a reason.
Well, I think it means the ones that say trail rated,
Yeah.
even if it's not a Wrangler,
Yeah.
Or only the Trailhawks.
right, are Trailhawks, but also they have some type of 4-wheel drive selectable system.
Is a 4-low.
It's
Right.
water
It has a
fording.
4-low.
It's water fording.
Yep.
Is part of the rating. Actually, I pulled it up because official Jeep.com has a page on it. Like you said, Bill, traction. So it has to do with your box maneuverability. What else do they put in here? The water fording and the angle of attack.
Yeah.
Attack angle.
And that's what they show. So it's like, ground clearance, approach angle, departure
Right.
angle, and water fording for all the vehicles that are shown on their page for trail rating,
Yes.
which includes obviously the Wranglers, and
Yep.
almost implicitly, if I'm not mistaken. the Grand Cherokee, and even the Compass, as long as they're in the Trailhawk editions.
Right. I think there are some two-wheel drive Wranglers out there that aren't trail rated.
Right. They have a non-driving front axle.
Right.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But those would be the exception. I owned a Liberty that I lifted, but it was badged trail rated.
Right, because it had a selectable
It did
4 low.
four high, 4 low.
Yep.
Just like my Wrangler, and that was a nimble
Yeah.
trail vehicle.
Liberty Bibberties.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Compass. Ground clearance 8.6 with water fording of 19 compared to, 31 inches of water fording for a Gladiator.
Yeah.
Stock. But 35 degrees of approach and departure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's still set up for that. And I guess I'm actually surprised to learn that as I looked this up for this answer, that had a Trailhawk trim. I did not know that the Compass had a Trailhawk
I did
trim.
not either.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't know
I
that.
have wheeled with Cherokee Trailhawks.
I've seen them.
Yes, that
Um,
I've seen the Compass Trailhawks as well.
Yeah.
I almost before I got the Wrangler, I looked at that. I was looking at actually I was looking at a Trackhawk, but that was a separate topic. But
That's a fun
because I was like,
topic.
Yeah.
you have all that capability, but you have the creature comforts.
Yeah.
And then I got in my Jeep, and you know how that goes.
Right, and then it's
And I
it's
drove off
sold
in it.
forever.
That's it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we can support that all Jeeps are trail rated, or is that
we'll support that one. All trail rated Jeeps are trail rated.
there it is. We'll support all trail rated Jeeps are trail rated. Perfect.
No, because I would say, the Jeep. There are Jeeps that are just 2-wheel drive. Some of them
Yeah.
were front wheel drive. There's no reason to take that off road.
No.
Um,
Not trail rated.
No, not trail rated. But
At least
if it had
not-
4-wheel drive, and yeah.
At least intentionally, because I was out recently, and I'm like,
sometimes you
man.
gotta take a path less traveled.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, you want at least the option to be in the 4-wheel drive because sometimes some of us get down the trail, just saying, and you go, man, I'm really surprised I'm not gripping, and then I go,
Well,
oh, I'm not even in 4-wheel drive.
yeah.
Oops.
You need
But to be able to go ka-chunk.
For real. Well, that's our busted myths. I like this
That was
topic.
fun.
It was a throwaway topic to start with,
That
and
was
then
fun.
it turned into something fun. And every once in a while, we get lucky, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
If
If you have a myth, send it to us at info@jeeplifepodcast.com. That's where you can reach us. That's where you can send your email or anything of the sort. Also, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, follow on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We are going to be releasing some more episodes on the YouTube channels. Also, going to start the build of the new garage.
Oh yeah, that'll be
So
exciting.
There could be some winter content that comes
gonna
up.
be
We haven't done a
fun.
lot of auxiliary stuff.
Oh,
and
we
I know you and
are
I have
going
talked
to
about
have
some things.
fun in this new garage. I already
I like
ordered
it.
the epoxy floor. I ordered all kinds of lights.
I want to come over and help the epoxy floor. I
Oh,
love doing that.
It's going to be a blast.
that's
We're going to have a good time.
That's
But
a hoot.
if you want to send us a voicemail as well, 484-272-5436, 484-272-5436. And as you know, you can find us on everywhere. Just search Jeep Life Podcast.
Yeah. And, man, thanks for listening, all my live listeners. We appreciate you coming out and participating in the chat. It was awesome. Anyway, I'm headed home. I'm tired. For Jetty Jason, Break It Billy, I'm Jeep and Terry, and here's a big Jeep wave to you, everyone. See you, everybody.